Hola a todos, hoy presentaremos un nuevo capítulo de este maravilloso curso. Preguntas, ¿has estudiado? ¿Cuánto tiempo le has dedicado a este curso? Bueno, seguimos con el propósito firme y con la confianza en Dios de que vamos a aprender a hablar inglés.
Hola sucreños, bienvenidos al bilingüismo a través del diplomado curso de inglés de la compañía de terapia Saba, Abilitytohelp y la Fundación de Inclusiones. Esta es una oportunidad apoyada por la Gobernación de Sucre para que todos los sucreños tengan la oportunidad de hablar inglés, idioma universal que usted podrá estudiar a su propio ritmo, es decir, con el tiempo que usted tiene disponible, sea en la mañana, la tarde, en la noche, pero usted termina hablando inglés. Soy Gloria Fandiño, Glorifan. Gracias.
Hi, my name is William Duarte. Bienvenidos al diplomado Sucre Bilingüe de la compañía Ability to Help. Soy William Duarte de la Fundación de Inclusiones. Estudia y lo lograrás. Yes, you can do it.
Good morning. How are you doing today? Welcome to your 100th class of English. So right now we are at a B1 level, so that's why I'm speaking a little bit more English. Today we are talking about frequency adverbs. So that's why today we are going to practice about it. Let's see with me. So the first one is on USA Learn page. Do you remember? We have this activity. Please listen about frequency adverbs because the idea is practice all these words that we learned last class.
Adverbs of frequency. We use adverbs of frequency to say how often we do something. I always come to class on time means I come to class on time every day. I usually come to class on time means I come to class on time most days. I sometimes come to class on time means some days I come to class on time and some days I don't. I never come to class on time means I am late every day. We usually use adverbs of frequency between the subject and verb. For example, I always do my homework. Marcia usually does errands on Saturdays. We sometimes see a movie on Friday night. Anna never jogs. We use them after the verb be. For example, I am always at work on Monday mornings. She is usually at home in the evening. They are sometimes late for class. He is never going to have time. Sometimes and usually can also be at the beginning or end of a sentence. For example, usually we play board games in the evenings. They go to the park sometimes.
Okay, so this is an explain about frequency adverbs. Yesterday I told you about it, so it's the same. When you talk about simple times, it's normal that you add the frequency adverb after the subject, before the subject. Okay, so that's why you say, I always come. Always is placed after the subject I. So that's why you have to be careful. So where do you write it? I usually come to class on time. So usually is after the subject, in this case, personal pronoun am. Don't forget it. If you are talking about simple times, it's really important add the frequency adverb after the subject. But when you have a to be verb, don't forget it. Always write that to be verb or said that to be verb. For example, I'm always at work on Monday mornings. So that's why Is first. Is firstly than always. Okay, so it's the same that I explained you last class. Don't forget it. Today we are doing some practice about this topic. So now in this activity, you have to look at the Ken's calendar. Look this calendar. Then choose the correct sentence. This is about this calendar. So, can you see? Cook class, cooking class, cooking class. On Tuesday. Wednesday, nothing. Wednesday, nothing, nothing. Thursday, visit parents, visit parents. Friday, visit parents, visit parents. And Saturday, errands, 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 errands. So you have to choose or click on the correct sentence about this calendar. He always does errands on Saturday. He sometimes does errands on Saturday. He sometimes does errands on Friday. Don't forget it. Errands is something you do like a shop for food, like pay bills, is something important in your life. So in this case, errands is always. Click on the correct answer. So he always goes to cooking class on Tuesday. He never goes to cooking class on Tuesday. He usually goes to cooking class on Tuesday. What do you think? 8, 15, 22nd, 29th. So that's why I think usually. Because isn't never. Because isn't always. If you say always, can have to go 8, 15, 22nd, and 29. But if you can see it, here in a 29, he didn't go to cooking class. So that's why the answer is he usually goes to cooking class. So this one said, don't forget it. Click on the correct answer. So look at the calendar. He sometimes visits his parents on Friday. He usually visits his parents on Friday. He usually visits his parents on Friday. So don't forget it. Sometimes it's the half, 50 and 50. So if you see this calendar, 4th is absent. 11, he visits his parents. 11th is absent. So that's why it's half and half, 50 and 50. This one sometimes visits his parents on Friday. Okay, click on the correct answer. So here we have a chart where explain how to write and the place or position where you have to add this frequency adverb. So I always do my homework. Marsha usually does errands on Saturday. In this case, does change because it's a simple time rule. So don't forget it. If you talk about third person of singular, you have to add does. We sometimes see. Anna never jogs. You have to add the S at the end of the verb. So that's why be careful. When you write a to be verb, is normal that you add the frequency adverb after this to be verb. So please choose the correct or choose the sentence with correct words in order. So this answer had to be in a correct order. She jogs in the park, never. She jogs never in the park. Never she jogs in the park. She never jogs in the park. So don't forget it. This one is good. Because this one is not good. So because never is after verb. So that's why this one is incorrect. So she never jogs in the park. This one is okay. So we have to say check. Very good. This is a simple one topic. I know that you understand the position of the frequency adverb. Don't forget it. Always write the frequency adverb after subject. But if you are talking with a to be verb, you have to add it after this one. So next practice, grammar. Okay, so this one. Adverbs of frequency, we use adverbs of frequency to say how often we do something. It's the same that we read, is the same that we practice before. Okay, I don't know why, but it's from the beginning again. So future plans is another one topic, so that's why you could start your practice from vocabulary part. Learn keywords, meaning match. So now let's watch a video, then check your understanding. All this unit is about adverbs of frequency or future plans. So I invite you to solve all this unit. So we could find this topic in another one unit. So we have it in Access America. In Access America, you could find another activities about frequency adverbs. So you go, firstly, click on Access America. Then click on the second one unit. Then is a 2.1. Here you could find frequency adverbs. Frequency adverbs, where is it? Grammar, talk about frequency. So let's see what happened here. Talking about frequency adverbs. How often? When you use frequency adverbs, is because you are answer about how often. How often is a question that means in Spanish, ¿qué tan seguido? ¿Qué tan seguido? How often means in Spanish, ¿qué tan seguido? For example, this one is a question. How often does the rent go up? So listen, this explain to solve all this unit. Talking about frequency.
Talking about frequency. We use how often to ask about the frequency of something. For example, how often does the rent go up? How often do you visit the building? How often is the laundry room cleaned?
So here we have a chart that explain about some time expressions. We talked about this time expression in simple present, every day, once a day, twice a week. Remember it. So we can respond to questions with how often using frequency expression like this one. But you could write also the frequency adverbs here. So we also respond to How often questions with the frequency adverbs. Always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never.
We also respond to how often questions with the frequency adverbs always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never.
That's great. So we usually use frequency adverbs between the subject and the verb. So it's the same that I explained you after the subject. The Lord always calls before he comes over. He usually answers message right away. You often need to pay more if you have a pet. Permits sometimes have free parking. We rarely need to call our Lord. She never pays her rent late. We also use sometimes at the beginning of the sentence, but just with sometimes. You have to pay extra for a parking place, or he call us sometime. So that's why you know where is the position of the frequency adverb. Okay, however, frequency adverbs come after the to be verb. We're always at home on Monday nights. It's usually easy to find parking here. My neighbors are often very loud in the morning. It's sometimes very cold in this room. He's rarely in the office when I call. I never at work on Saturday. So don't forget, if you have the to be verb, always place the frequency adverb after this one. So choose the correct sentence. We pay the rent every month. Okay. Here we have time expressions, don't forget it, like once a week, twice a week, every day, every month. Don't forget it, if you write every, it's a mistake, add the letter A here, doesn't write it. So he gets paid twice a month. This one is possible because twice a month is at the end of the sentence, and I think it's correct, this one. He calls me 4 times a week. I don't know, we need, for example, the A letter. She calls me 4 times a week. Here, when you say once a week, twice a week, thrice a week, 4 times a week, it's really important add the A between times and the expression. So this one, I think, has a mistake. I see him 3 times a year. I see him 3 times a year. So I think this one is perfect. I take out the trash once a week. It's okay because has the letter A. Oh, one more. Set here is possible, right? One more. Every month, I think is not okay, but so erase it. Then click here. So maybe this one is okay. You have choose too many answers. Choose only 2 answers. So here we have a mistake. So please help me to find this kind of mistake. 3 times a year. I see him 3 times a year. I take out the trash once a week. He gets paid twice a month. Si ves que esta no, porque falta la A. Can you see here is not a letter A, twice a month. So that's why this one is incorrect. So click and solve it. Don't forget it. This is a time expression, but you could remember this time expression here because we are answer this question, how often? And don't forget it, how often means ¿qué tan seguido? In Spanish. So that's why if I ask you, how often how often do you clean your house? If I ask, how often do you clean your house? It's possible. Answer with a time expression. For example, I clean my house twice a week. I clean my house twice a week. So that's why it's good add time expression in this topic, in this answer. I clean my house twice a week. It's okay. But I could answer to this question like this. I always clean my house. So that's why you could answer this question, how often, with time expressions like this, or with a frequency adverbs. So don't forget it. This is a review about time expressions also too. So this one, choose 3 correct sentences. So help me. I pay my rent every month. Every month. I think this one is okay because here you don't need a letter A. Just when you talk about once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, so there you could add A. We every day, oh, this is a little one, a little bit strange because every day is a time expression, and this kind of time expression usually goes at the last part of the sentence. So that's why this answer is not good. She twice visits a week. Oh no, here the word is in a bad order because twice is far away from a week. They pick up the trash once a week. Oh, this one is okay because they pick up the trash once a week, once a. So I think this one is okay. The Lord calls twice a year. This one is okay. So check. Excellent. Don't forget it. Time expressions, answer, frequency, answer to how often question 2. So he is usually in his office. I have to see it. Usually is after to be verb. So that's why this one is perfect. The apartment is often very cold. The apartment is often is good. They are home. They are home always? No, I think this sentence has a mistake. Never they make a lot of noise. No, I think this one is not perfect. Okay, so we are talking about how answer this question. How often? So listen.
She always pays her rent on time.
She always pays rent. So don't forget it. You could do this exercise. Okay. Okay, so I mean, you could practice on USA page. Don't forget it. Go and solve all this unit. But in class, right now, we are going to solve another exercise. Okay, finally, let's practice. Please help me to solve this Kahoot game. This Kahoot game is about frequency of manner and frequency of adverbs. So please help me do it. And so I was this, no soy yo. So us, all of us. Now, this is a Kahoot game. Sometimes we have to write on it. Then click on the answer. First one, write. on this answer. She always take. So the answer is always, firstly, because always is after the personal pronoun, and take is a verb, but we are talking about third person of singular. So that's why don't forget it. Don't forget at the S. This is good answer. Next one. He drives. He drives. This is a adverb of manner. Care, the careful, careful, or careful. What do you think? So I think this an adverb because the line is placed after the verb. Okay. Now, short answer. Write on it. She ran. This is an adverb of manner. So quickly, because it's the way who she ran. He never has, he has never got, he never had. I think this one is correct. Great, because the adjective is after the subject. I know the Prime Minister. So, this is an adverb of manner. So doesn't exist goodly. Goodly is a mistake because this adverb is irregular one. So don't forget it if you want to say this one is well. Okay, read it and tell me about the answer. Which is the opposite to slow? Fast. I get up usually. I think it's not good. I usually get up. It's okay, but yes, is not really important here because we are talking about first person of singular. So I get up usually. I usually get up. This one. Jared. Nunca está. Nunca llega tarde al trabajo. Never, Jared is never. Because the to be verb is first, then the adverb. This is a question. So, do you often travel on weekends? Susan often is late for class because first this subject, then adverb. No, it's not okay. After this one is that to be verb. When do you usually go? Because it's a question, so that's why you are not sure is if this happens always. This kind of question open many kind of possibilities, so that's why when do you usually go on vacation? Mary is a third person of singular, so that's why you have to add s. However, don't forget it. You write Mary Then you have to place sometimes. Finally, the verb dreams. But we are talking about third person of singular. Mary sometimes dreams. Okay, here I don't have to write this name, just this one. John always eats with S because it's the third person singular. My parents goes often or often goes? Often go. Okay, we are talking about third person of plural, so that's why you don't need at, is. Just go, often go. Jeremy, come rarely or rarely come. In this case, rarely come. But we are talking about Jeremy is third person of singular. Don't forget it. You have to add S. Ronald is never happy. Mary usually stays with S, this one, at home. I mean, this is like simple exercise. When you practice, it's easier to find this kind of activities. So that's why I need you practice all day, every day, because I need you know how to apply this kind of adverbs. The weather usually is or is usually. Because we have that to be verb, you have to write firstly this. Okay. 19. Sally. Sally seldom or seldom Sally? Sally seldom. Okay, I think Sally seldom dreams. The last is this one. So, smiles never or never smiles? You know, never smiles. Okay, we finished. Okay. I'm proud of you because you are studying, you are practicing, so I need you do always the same. Please look for different kind of activities that help you to improve your English skills or your different kind of skills. Please practice speaking, listening, reading. We have an interesting one page, USA Learn, so I always recommend this kind of place because you could practice there. So bye-bye. You did an excellent one work. So that's why, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.